and welcome back to yet another edition of American Football News. This week, NCAA week number 9. A rundown of the top 25 will commence as follows. For the 9th week in a row, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide as the number 1 team in all of college football, followed number 2 by Clemson. Coming in at number 3 this week, the University of Notre Dame. And to round out the top 4, which are all the playoff spots, is Louisiana State University. Coming in at number 5, the University of Michigan. 6, Texas. 7, Georgia. 8, Oklahoma. 9, Florida. And to round out our top 10, the University of Central Florida. Coming in at number 11, Ohio State, who falls 9 spots after their loss to Purdue on Saturday. Number 12, Kentucky. 13, West Virginia. 14, Washington State University, who's up 11 spots after beating the University of Oregon last Saturday. Coming in at 15, the Washington Huskies. 16, Texas A&M. 17, Penn State. 18, Iowa. 19, Oregon. 20, Wisconsin. 21, South Florida. 22, NC State. 23, the Utah Utes. 24, the Stanford Cardinal make their way back into the top 25. And for the first time this year, Appalachian State, that's right, the little team that went to the big house and knocked off the Michigan Wolverines, has worked its way into the top 25. If you were paying attention to our show last week, you will realize that 3 teams are out, 3 teams are in. Those 3 teams that were dropped out of the top 25 this week were the University of Cincinnati, Michigan State University, and Mississippi State. The new teams in the top 25 are the Utah Utes, the Stanford Cardinal, and the Appalachian State Mountaineers. The upset of the week was a tremendous upset and one long overdue for one program and maybe one overdue for the other as well. Ohio State took on Purdue University this past Saturday and a miracle happened. Heavy underdogs to a college football playoff favorite, Purdue wore all black for their national TV game. It did not disappoint. Huge plays on defense, big plays on offense made the night seemingly come alive to Ohio State, who could not get anything going. Purdue shocks the world, and then number 2 Ohio State with a win, 49-20. And you heard it from me, that is a whooping. Our Game of the Week results are now in. We had several games of the week that we were paying attention to last week, and we will go over those with you here shortly. All rankings are from this week, so please don't get confused. Number 19 Oregon took on number 14 Washington State at Little Martin Stadium Saturday, and the Cougars came to play. Up 27-0 at halftime, the Ducks were dead in the water. Washington State wins 34-20. Number 5 LSU took on SEC West Division rival Mississippi State Saturday night in a slugfest of a game. 101,000 Tiger faithful watched a defensive battle at Tiger Stadium with a little offense on the side. LSU puts down the Bulldogs 19-3. Wolfpack is back. At least that's what number 22 NC State fans thought. Trevor Lawrence and the number 2 Clemson Tigers said, "Hold up, wait a minute, we don't play that." What on paper looked like a tough test for Clemson ended in a rout. 24-0 at halftime, the Wolfpack could only muster a TD in the closing moments of the game. Clemson wins big, 41-7. The Great Lakes State, America's High Five, the Third Coast, Michigan. Paul Bunyan was the prize this weekend. The fighters, Michigan and Michigan State. Sparty was 8-2 in their last 10 meetings and looked to add another win to their column. Bad blood boiled over in pregame warm-ups with antics and disrespect on both sides. Michigan players tearing up the Spartan 50-yard line logo, MSU players locking arms and taking the field to push Michigan off. After a 1-hour lightning delay, the game took life. However, Michigan was the only one with life. Overwhelming MSU on offense and MSU overwhelming them MSU on defense and MSU self-destructing on offense made an easy day for the Wolverines. U of M wins the Paul Bunyan Trophy 21-7. And now is our portion of the Heisman hopefuls. We have a brand new top 4 candidate this week and 3 that you will probably recognize. Our number one Heisman hopeful, the quarterback from Alabama, still number 1 in Heisman voting. A good week against the Tennessee Volunteers with a tough LSU test this week. 2,066 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the year in 2018. However, he could be potentially hurt, and that is Tua Tagovailoa from the University of Alabama, quarterback. Our number 2 Heisman Trophy hopeful is Kyler Murray, quarterback, Oklahoma. Another Texas team this week, this time, no problem. Huge game with a big second half solidified Kyler's Heisman position. 1,977 yards passing on the year, 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and another 428 yards rushing to go on top of it with an additional 5 yards rushing in 2018. Still my favorite to win it all at the end of the year, especially if Alabama's quarterback gets hurt later on in the season. Our number 3 Heisman hopeful this week is Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, Ohio State University. Big numbers from a big quarterback, but also a big loss from a big program. Haskins threw for well over 400 yards in Saturday's upset loss to Purdue. 2,801 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 2018. Another loss may very well push Haskins out of the Heisman Trophy voting. However, I find that to be a little unfair as it's about the best player, not the best player on the best team. Our number 4 Heisman Trophy candidate is a new one. Number 4, Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson. First time in the top 4 in the Heisman hopefuls, Etienne had 3 touchdowns this past Saturday. 800 yards rushing from the line of scrimmage, 14 touchdowns with an 8.2 yards per carry average in 2018. Quite impressive for the number 4 Heisman Trophy candidate. All right, we look ahead to some games this week to pay attention to. And, of course, all college football games are important, but these 4 in particular seem to be more interesting than the others. Number 25, Appalachian State will take on Georgia Southern, and that happens Thursday, October 25th, kickoff scheduled for 7:30 p.m. This can be caught on ESPNU. Appalachian State sitting at 5-1, Georgia Southern 6-1. It is our belief and our prediction that the Mountaineers will come out on top. Our next game of the week is a Big Ten matchup that will features number 18 Iowa taking on number 17 Penn State. That will happen Saturday, October 27th at 3:30 p.m., and the game can be caught on ESPN. It is our prediction that the Nittany Lions will end up winning over the Hawkeyes. Our third matchup to keep an eye on is an SEC matchup. Number 9 Florida will take on number 7 Georgia. This also will happen Saturday, October 27th at 3:30 p.m. and can be caught on CBS. It is our prediction that the Georgia Bulldogs will defeat the Florida Gators. And our final game to take a look at is a Pac-12 game. The number 14 Washington State Cougars will take on the number 24 Stanford Cardinals Saturday, October 27th at 7 p.m. And you can catch this game on the Pac-12 network. It is our prediction that the Cougars will continue to ride high and will pick up the win over the Cardinal. All right, we switch gears now and move on to professional football, which just completed week number 8. A great set of games took place this past weekend, and we take a look back at a few of the better moments from week number 7. London, England was the host for an NFL game. Wembley Stadium welcomed the Tennessee Titans and LA Chargers for a game on the English pitch. Both teams came to play and both put on a show for our brothers across the pond. The Chargers win in a close one, 20-19. New England had a tough game this weekend, this time at the hands of the Chicago Bears. Chicago putting the pressure on and making Brady and company work hard for this win. The Bears come up short and fall 38-31. It wouldn't be an NFL week without a lopsided victory. 2 2-win teams played Sunday. Only one showed up. Buffalo traveled to Indianapolis to take on the Colts and found themselves behind 24-0 at halftime. The second half was more of the same, and Indianapolis walked away with an easy win, 37-5. Another Browns game, another overtime. Cleveland traveled to the Sunshine State and took on Tampa Bay. A back-and-forth shootout that led to overtime. Tampa Bay held on to win and put the Browns at 2-4-1 in 2018. Final score, 26-23. Fly, Eagles, fly. More like die, Eagles, die. Super Bowl champion Philadelphia looks like a dud in 2018. Taking on Cam Newton and the Panthers Sunday, the Eagles were up 17-0 in the third quarter. However, 21 unanswered points put the brakes on any Eagles victory plans as Carolina comes from behind to pick up the win, 21-17. Everybody loves Drew Brees, and the Saints, that is. The Saints took on Flacco and the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium, and another Hall of Fame performance by Drew Brees saw the Saints win a close one. 24-23 was the final score as Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, one of the most reliable kickers in the game, missed his first career point-after-touchdown to tie the game with 24 seconds left. Saints walk away with another W. It wouldn't be football without rivals. And rivals exist both in pro and college. In the pros, it's a little bit different. This time we see an older one, Cowboys and Redskins. This took place Sunday afternoon, and another great chapter was added. Washington cements their first place position in the NFC East with a win over the Boys, 20-17. Sunday Night Football was a blowout win for Kansas City and the Chiefs. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes threw for over 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and overwhelmed Andy Dalton and the Bengals. Cincinnati is humbled in Kansas City, 45-10. Week 7 concluded Monday with Monday Night Football, and it featured two teams who had high hopes at the beginning of the year but have yet to come to fruition. The lowly Falcons played the even lower Giants. Eli looked like a quarterback with a plan, but that plan fell short, and Atlanta walks away with its third W of the year, 23-20. And a look ahead at some of the games this week, particularly Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football this week will feature the Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. This will happen Thursday, October 25th at 8:20 p.m. and can be viewed on Fox or the NFL Network. It is our prediction that despite Miami's loss to the Detroit Lions this past weekend, they will pick up the win against the Texans. Sunday Night Football will be a great matchup featuring the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. This takes place Sunday, October 28th at 8:20 p.m. and can be seen on NBC. It is our prediction that Drew Brees will continue his winning ways and will lead the Saints to another victory. And Week 8 will conclude with Monday Night Football as the New England Patriots take on the absolutely terrible Buffalo Bills. It's no surprise who's going to win this game. We're already predicting New England to win in a blowout. This game takes place Monday, October 29th at 8:15 p.m. and can be viewed on ESPN. All right, so that concludes this week's portion of American Football News. We are proud to announce that we are now available for your viewing and listening pleasure on YouTube.com. Simply go to YouTube.com, go to the search bar, and type in American Football News. Look for the red football logo, and you will find a show for you. Also, catch us on Twitter, Spreaker.com, and SoundCloud. We thank you for taking a listen to this week's show and look forward to hearing from you. Please leave any comments, questions, or suggestions on the websites provided. Continue to watch football, continue to follow this program, and always remember, there will be another season.